It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. We all lived through Tuesday, and now we're doing Wednesday, and tomorrow will come Thursday, and we will do that, and that'll be the way that it is. My wife is fond of saying you can't go over it, you can't go around it, you can't go under it. The only way is through it. So we are going through each day of this self isolation. Some of you are more isolated than others. If you're one of those people that um, live alone or feel alone where you're sheltering, then be sure to reach out to us. I know some of my friends that live alone are mostly enjoying this time. They like alone time, and I have other friends that I'm hearing from that are not enjoying it so much, and I think are maybe fighting low spirits from time to time. So know yourself and know when you need to reach out and say, "Hey, I could use some help. I could use a conversation. Tell me something stupid so I can laugh." Just be listening for people to see how you can help. I did get word from my good friend Bev down in Orleans. Mike and Bev are some of our good friends that act and sing and do things with us. But Bev, for a while, had been talking about buying a mandolin, and I heard today that she bought one. So I'm excited. Maybe she'll drag it out and play along on the videos here. And she's musical already and plays a couple of other instruments. So I think that she'll be able to pick up on the mandolin. Maybe she'll teach Mike too. They'd make a good mandolin duet, the two of them. So anyway, if you're thinking about starting something new, it's a good time while you're in this kind of lockdown, shelter in place kind of thing. Um, had some great fun this morning with the kids. When I go out once a day to go to the Amish shops to just very quickly pick up my things that I need to be able to ship out for my business, the tool belt rigs and such, I see our good friends Mary and Sam. And Mary and Sam have a cow that's giving milk a little extra right now. He just said she's giving a lot of it. I think they may have two giving milk. But anyway, they sent us home a gallon of fresh milk yesterday, and I think we'll continue to do so for a while. We often get fresh eggs from them. So we set that milk in the refrigerator last night, let the cream separate, and we made fresh butter. Churned it ourselves just in a jar this morning, and when it's fresh like that from the farm, it just takes about 10 minutes to turn the butter, shaking it in a jar. So if you have a chance for fresh milk and you're not scared of raw milk, then try some. We also made some homemade hot chocolate out of it, and it was pretty spectacular. So you can look on my Instagram and see the pictures of the milk. Some of you have already been there and commented, kind of keeping track of it. Okay, now yesterday I sang "There Shall Be Showers of Blessing," and Larry wrote me and told me that that is in our current Presbyterian hymnal, that I had just overlooked it. No surprise there if you know me. I'm not the best finder of things. I'm kind of a big picture guy. And then I was also talking to some other folks that were putting in requests, and some of you have put in requests, and I'm working on them for old hymns and other songs. Delilah, whom I mentioned yesterday, put in a request for "Love Lifted Me," and I know that song pretty well by heart. I had never picked it up to play it on guitar. It's another 6/8 song, and I'm going to play it in B flat. That's where it's written at in this hymnal, my old blue hymnal that I'm looking at. So if you're playing along, it's going to have the 1 chord, the 5 chord, the 4 chord in it, and it's going to have a secondary dominant. Now remember, the secondary dominant chord is the 2 chord major in the key that you're in. But the reason it's called that is because it's the dominant chord of the dominant chord in your key. So, if you don't know what that means, write Larry. He taught me all this years ago. He'll explain it to you. I could draw it on paper for you. It would be hard just out like this. But just know, if you're a musician, you're going to have 1, 4, 5, and then the 2 that's that secondary dominant chord. All right. I was getting, this is 6/8 also, so I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, very deeply stained within, sinking to rise no more. But the master of the sea heard my despairing cry, from the waters lifted me, now safe am I. Love lifted me, love lifted me, when nothing Jesus completely saves. He will lift you by his love out of the angry waves. He's the master of the sea. Billows his will obey. He, your Savior, wants to be saved today. Love lifted me. Love lifted me. When nothing else could help, love lifted me. Love lifted me. Love lifted me. When nothing else could help, love lifted me. There you go, Delilah's request for an old hymn. So that's one of her favorites. I guess Harvey and Eva and the family all brought her up to love that hymn a long time ago. The ones I loved in my childhood are still the ones that I love the best. So that may be one of hers. So thanks for the request. I'm working on another one that Anna requested. It's in a minor mode. They'll know we're Christians by our love. I'll have that soon. Some others of you are on the list. I think my mom sent one in, so I gotta get mom taken care of. So be watching for more of those. Okay, quick history stuff. Now, yesterday I had showed you this mug from our friends Andy and Kara up at the Tomato Products Company. This was a company that actually packed tomatoes in Paoli. I don't know what years it was open, in the early 1900s all the way up through maybe the 40s. They would have to, you could probably look it up online. I just haven't yet. But I know in my childhood in the 70s and 80s, it was a closed, kind of abandoned building, and we used to play along the outside of it there on the ridge above J.C. Park. But they're fixing it back up, and they're even using the old logo. Now, one of the things that you'll see is that they used to pack things called something called Orleans tomato puree, and that was one of their products that they put out up there. I recently, just in the last couple of months on eBay, found a guy that specializes in labels off of old cans. Believe it or not, that's a thing. So this guy goes around the country and buys up old label samples from companies that make labels for cans, like vegetables and that kind of stuff. Well, this guy had bought up the files from, I think the company was called the Piedmont Label Company, and I'm pretty sure it was from Virginia. But this is the company that supplied the full color labels for the Tomato Products Company, and I'm guessing back in the 20s and 30s, and they kept files at their headquarters with the sample labels in them. So I don't own any cans of canned goods, tomatoes and such, from the Tomato Products Company when it was in operation. But I bid and kind of became friends with this guy and bid on his labels that he had found in those business files from the Piedmont Label Company. So that same label that you saw right here on this, reproduced on this mug by Andy, is actually this label right here. I actually found this label in one of his auctions. It was in their files. This is the exact label that they used to put on the cans at the Tomato Products Company for the Orleans tomatoes. This just happens to be the sample label that was kept safe for the last 100 years or 90 years in their files, and now I own it. This is a real live label, not a reprint, but an actual one of the ones that they printed for the Tomato Product Company. So I'm very proud of that. But I also, in one of his auctions later, got these labels. One is for Paoli Pie Pumpkin. I don't know if we were famous for pumpkins at some point in Paoli, but that is the label, and there's a Chef Paoli, there on the back. You can see that he's giving recipes for how to make pie from Paoli Pumpkin Pie. And then French Lick, we know, is famous for tomato juice, and so there it is, French Lick tomato juice, French Lick tomato juice. So those are labels out of that same Piedmont Label Company's files that were actually the sample labels that they held in their files, but they sent I would assume hundreds or thousands of copies of these to the Tomato Products Company. And like I said, these are not reprints. These are actual labels, historical labels. And I'm very, very happy that I found those and met the guy that has those. And then the last one is just one that the Tomato Products Company used to do that's just called Hoosier Tomatoes. So I'm happy to have that also. It was, I guess, done by tomatoes, not just from Orleans or Orange County, but from all over. So these hang in my bathroom here in my man cave / office. That's kind of where I've put up my specific Paoli history photographs and stuff, courthouse and those kind of things. So I'll keep showing you pictures out of all that collection. I've got kind of cool stuff I've collected, and this is not expensive collecting. These are things, like I said, that are generally $10 and less to buy off of eBay. So if you've ever wanted to start a collection hobby, it's really neat to be out there online looking around for these kind of things and picking up pieces of history. So that's our history lesson for today here from the Man Cave. Now let's do Larry's Motivational Connection. Larry's Motivational Connection today quotes Dorothy Gale from The Wizard of Oz. She said, say it with me, "There's no place like home." Larry adds on, act like Dorothy, click your heels together 3 times and repeat after me. There's no place like home. Go ahead and wash your hands while you're doing it, and have the munchkins do it too. Good advice. Keep the kids up on safety. I'm thankful for Larry putting out great quotes every day to help us pass the time. I'm going to sing you one historic song about Indiana since we're kind of on historical thoughts today. This is a song called just Indiana. And it's another one that was written by Lotus Dickey, Stephen Dickey's dad. I play this with Steve and Nancy all the time. Nancy usually helps me remember the words, but I have them here in front of me, Nancy. I won't mess them up today. Well, at least I won't have an excuse if I do. So I'm going to sing that. If you've never heard this song, it is one of the cool songs about Indiana. If you want the lyrics and the chords, then you just write me. Steve doesn't care at all that we share this out so his dad's music can be sung. Several of you know this. We did it on a radio show back in the summer. This is in G, and it's nothing but G, C, and D, 1, 4, and 5 chords. I'll warn you of this. In the chorus, it goes from the 1 chord to the 5 chord, the G to the D, 3 times in a row back and forth before it goes to the 4 chord again. Everybody messes that up in jams and takes a while to get it. It did me too. But just pay attention to that if you're playing along in the chorus. It'll go G, D, G, D, G, D, G before it goes to C again. Okay? I don't know if you can look these lyrics up. Sometimes these Lotus lyrics are hard to find. Like I said, email me, text me, call me if you want to hear this. This is a great song about Indiana. Oh, when I'm dreaming, seems I'm somewhere, that I'm so happy, skies are fair. I'm going back where I used to roam, to Indiana, my home, sweet home. Oh, Indiana, my home, sweet home. Indiana, I long to roam through your woods and hills and valleys wide, with my darling sweetheart by my side. Though I wandered o'er land and foam, I found nowhere I'd call my own. Back with dear old dad and mother, you mean more than any other. Indiana, my home, sweet home. Oh, when I'm lonely and sad and blue, 'tis then I always do think of you. I feel so homesick, I weep and moan, for Indiana, my home, sweet home. Oh, Indiana, my home, sweet home. Indiana, I long to roam through your woods and hills and valleys wide, with my darling sweetheart by my side. Though I wandered So many heartaches have come and gone, 'cause I've been staying away too long. I'm going back there, no more to roam, to Indiana, my home sweet home. Oh, Indiana, my home sweet home. Indiana, I long to roam through your woods and hills and valleys wide, with my darling sweetheart by my side. Though I wandered o'er land and foam, I found nowhere I'd call my own. Back with dear old dad and mother, you mean more than any other. Indiana, my home sweet home. Back with dear old dad and mother, you mean more than any other. Indiana, my home sweet home. There you go, Lotus's Indiana song. Hey, have a good rest of the Wednesday, everybody. Wash your hands, stay safe. Check on the people you love.